Hey everyone, the crisis taking place in North Korea right now, with the Yeonpyeong island incident, it's different this time around. It's the same, but it's different, but it's the same, but it's different. It's the same in the sense that, again, this is a regional conflict, and there's a lot of regional conflicts around the world. But it's different because it goes beyond being regional. There is a lot of economic and military and political implications and weight that is behind this, which makes it similar to a past conflict, past regional conflict in Germany. Once upon a time when Germany was divided in half, being East versus West. But it went beyond that because it was the place where World War III was going to start. It wasn't Germany versus Germany, it was Eastern communism versus Western capitalism. It was all these countries headbutting with all these other countries. It was the Iron Curtain. And I can't help but feel like that's what it is right now with North Korea versus South Korea. It's like the new Germany. It's the new focal point of where World War III can potentially start. I'll explain. Maybe it's just me, but there's something that reminds me of World War I and the way World War I started. How did it start? Well, it's kind of ridiculous how it started. Now, the official history of what started World War I was that some crazy Serbian shot and killed the Archduke of Austria. And so basically Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. And it gets really weird because both sides had treaties with other countries who had treaties with other countries who had treaties with other countries, and it just resulted in the whole world fighting. So Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, but then Russia had a treaty with Serbia, so they went to her defense. But then Germany had a treaty with Austria-Hungary, so it declared war on Russia. And France had a treaty with Russia, so now it was at war against Germany and by extension on Austria-Hungary. And Germany invaded neutral Belgium so as to reach Paris by the shortest possible route. But Britain had a treaty with Belgium, so it committed herself to Belgium's defense. Like France, she was by extension also at war with Austria-Hungary. And Britain's colonies and dominions abroad variously offered military and financial assistance, and included Australia, Canada, India, New Zealand, and the Union of South Africa. The United States entered the war because, well, they're the United States. And Japan, honoring a military agreement with Britain, declared war on Germany. Italy had a treaty with Germany and Austria-Hungary, but only in the event of a defensive war. That's just the basics. The list is actually quite long and complicated. Basically, there really was no legitimate reason for World War I to start. So it's just a very illogical war. And it happened. And millions of people died. And now here we are 100 years later, and does history repeat itself? So looking at these two Koreas, could the same domino effect happen? Well, let's check it out. So let's say North Korea goes to war with South Korea. South Korea's military is inseparable with the American military, so this would directly begin a war with the US. The US attacks North Korea, but then China would definitely get involved, as the last thing China could possibly want is a united Korea that is pro-American. The same with Russia, who has too much investment in the Korean peninsula and also has too much hatred for the Americans to be in their vicinity once again. China also loathes American presence and influence in Asia. A united capitalist Korea will be a significant threat to the Chinese. On the other hand, the Korean peninsula also is in close vicinity of Japan. If China had control or influence over this peninsula, it would enable them to strategically, military, and politically dominate and coerce Japan. Being close to Japan would also enable China to neutralize the strong American military presence there. A reunified Korea with its massive military strengths and nuclear missiles arsenal has the potential to shift the entire balance of power in that region, in the globe even. Now here's the problem. America is already fighting 2 wars with no realistic end to sight. What's more, America is bankrupt, and China owns the majority of their debt. There is so much at stake here, economically, politically, and militarily. So if America does get dragged into another war in Korea, they're going to be fighting 3 wars simultaneously. And if you ask me, they're going to be quite vulnerable at home. If any nation had ever thought about going to the shores of America to attack it and invade it, this gives a pretty good opportunity to do so. So I have 3 questions. Does this conflict have the ingredients for World War III? Is it necessary for the US and Korea to practice their war against the North drills so close to the border with North Korea? Pyongyang Island is what, like 8 miles away? And here they're practicing invading the North or fighting the North right there. Isn't that like if China and Russia decided they're going to practice war drills of invading America in the Gulf of Mexico? How would America feel about that? I mean, isn't it just plain provocation to be right in your face practicing how to kill you? Last question. Is the North acting alone? Are they just being crazy and fanatical? Or is there some kind of conspiracy to drag the United States into a third war? So, let me know what you think. God bless.